I'm Lakshmi Abhighna Simma, IPL 04023, I am Rotha. Today we will be discussing the ancient Indian legal system and its enduring legacy in the modern jurisprudence of India. To understand the ancient Indian legal system, we must go back to the era of Vedas and understand its sources. The first source is Dharma. But what is Dharma? Dharma is a multifaceted concept. It includes righteousness, law, morality, etc. The different types of dharmas. The first dharma is Sadharan dharma. Sadharan dharma deals with universal principles such as Sarvodaya, Satyagraha, Ahimsa, and many others. Next, you have Varna dharma. Varna dharma are your caste-based duties, and now these castes include Brahmin, Kshatriya, and many others. Next up, you have the Raja dharma. The Raja dharma is essentially the duties of the king. It's about justice, fairness, governance, etc. And then you have the Sri dharma. Sri dharma deals with an ideal woman and her duties. And last but not the least, we have Ashrama dharma. Ashrama dharma deals with duties that are based off the stages of life that a person goes through. That is the first source of dharma. Now, understanding dharma, we come to understand there are two parts. One is the smriti and the other is the shruti. Now, smriti is what we recollect, what we understand, what we remember. Now, two main examples of smritis include the Yajñavakya smriti that essentially talks about rules or principles governing the religious aspects, and then you have your Katyayana smriti that deals with judicial accountability. According to me, this judicial accountability is a far-fetched concept and is kind of linked to the theory or doctrine of separation of powers. Now, coming to the Shrutis are essentially what we listen to, what we understand from just listening. These Shrutis mainly include the four Vedas. The four Vedas include Rig, Yajur, Sama, Atharva. Now, Rig Veda deals with all the principles that led to the creation of the universe. The Yajur Veda deals with the implementations of these principles. The Sama Veda deals with the rhythmic hymns, and the Atharvana Veda deals with all the day-to-day proceedings of a human life. That was the end of the first source. Now, the second source, apart from Dharma, we have multiple sources. Now, coming to the second source. The second source is Achara. Achara translates to customs. Now, customs come into actions where Smritis or Shrutis are silent. These are localized communal practices that over time get the weightage of becoming a rule and is followed throughout the community. Great examples of these acharas or customs is, for example, your Shridhan. It is a concept where any property or any gifts that is received by a woman during her wedding or her marriage are considered to be her exclusive property. Now, this is mentioned in the Hindu Succession Act. Apart from this, you also have the Saptapadi. Now, the Saptapadi is when you take 7 steps around the sacred fire of marriage. Now, this is a custom that is included in the Hindu Marriage Act. Apart from these two, you also had kings during that time. Now, the king's edicts and commands played a vital role in understanding and making the law that we have today. During the Mauryan Empire, during the time of King Ashoka primarily in the 3rd century BCE, he gave out numerous edicts and commands inscribed on rocks and pillars. Now, his 5th edict that has been inscribed talks about animal cruelty. It talks about humane treatment of animals, and it also bans certain animal sacrifices or animal rituals. Now, this is still very evident in protection of animals from cruelty laws and regulations, the DPSP, and the fundamental rights, which has been inscribed in the Indian Constitution too. Now, apart from Acharya and royal edicts, we have one last source, that is the Mimamsa. Mimamsa is essentially the scholarly writings or understandings of said ancient scripts. Now, according to me, these act like the scientific commentaries given by jurists, eminent jurists. Mimamsa is also known as Vedanta, and Vedanta is essentially a summary of all the 4 Vedas that we have discussed earlier. Back then, the kings also followed a concept of dharma, artha, kama. Dharma is morality, artha is wealth, and kama is satisfaction. I strongly believe this can be drawn parallels to what we have today in the Indian governance. Now, the morality that has been imposed by the constitution is very essential for the state to manage the wealth of the nation to ensure the satisfaction of the citizen and its subjects. Here we can also talk about the Kautilya's Arthashastra, which essentially talks about pragmatic governance, which is governance based on practicality rather than theory. In conclusion, understanding the basic foundations of the ancient Indian legal system helps us understand how we are where we are today. This helps us understand and appreciate the sophisticated blend of the ancient Indian legal system, which included morality, customary laws, and religious laws as the base, with prioritizing communal welfare and morality. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did enjoy taking this journey from the beginning to the end. Thank you.